So now that we know how to use and manipulate equations, in this video we are going to talk about one important equation, especially if you are a business major, or if you own a bank account or ever plan to have investments. And that equation is the simple interest equation, and the equation is built like this. Your interest is equal to your principal investment, or the original money that you put in, your principal investment, multiplied by the rate at which you are investing, 2%, 3% rate of investment, both multiplied by the time that you leave the investment in years. And this equation will help you to see exactly how much interest you can earn over a certain amount of time, say with your money in a bank account or in a CD, in any type of investment scenario. So let's do a few examples to illustrate how powerful the simple interest equation is. Our first question says, how long will it take $500 to double itself if it is invested at 8% simple interest? So let's say that you have $500 and you found a bank account that has a deal that says if you open your bank account now and put in $10,000 or $500, if you put in $500 to this bank account, we will give you 8% simple interest, which is a very high percent right now. So, in order to figure out how long it would take to double your investment, you just have to plug all these numbers into the simple interest formula. I equals PRT. In this case, what is your interest? How much money do you want to earn? Well, if your initial investment is $500 and you want to double it, you want to earn $500 more. And that's going to be equal to your principal investment, which we've already said a few times is $500, multiplied by the rate. Our rate here is 8%, multiplied by the time it will take for that investment to double. We don't know the answer to that yet. That's what we're solving for. And so we have this simple equation. And all we need to know for this equation before we get started is how to solve it and how to handle a percentage. You might remember that 8%, a percentage, is just moving the decimal point over 2 places. So our equation becomes 500 equals 500 multiplied by 0.08, which is 8%, multiplied by the time. And now we have to figure out what 500 times 0.08 is. Well, we know how to multiply decimals. 500 times 0.08 is 500 times 8, and then we count the decimals and move it over that many. What's 500 times 8? Well, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 5 is 40. And we have 2 decimal points in our problem, in our whole problem, so we move it over 2 decimal points. So 8% of 500, or 0.08 times 500, is 40. And we get 500 is equal to 40 times t. And now we are almost done. We just have to divide both sides by 40 to get our t to be alone. Divide by 40. And we have to deal with 500 divided by 40, which we can cross these zeros off as the same as 50 divided by 4, which is about 12.5. Which means if you had an investment of $500 and you wanted it to double itself at 8% interest, you would have to wait 12.5 years. Let's put a little years in order for it to do so. Let's do one more problem. What if we had more money and wanted it at 8% interest once again to earn a little bit less? Well, we know that our answer should be a little less than 12.5 years, but let's see how to do it. We have the equation I equals PRT. And our interest, the amount we want to earn this time is $320. So to replace the little I, we have 320. Our principal investment, our P, is $1,000. Our rate is 8%, which once again is 0.08. And we are looking for how long, so we're looking for our time once again. Now this time, multiplying 1,000 by 0.08 is much easier. 1,000 times 8 is just, write it all out, 1,000 times 8 is just 8,000. And in our problem here, we have 2 decimal places, 1, 2. So we bring it over 1, 2 decimal places, and we have 80. So we get 320 equals 80t. Divide both sides by 80. Cross off the zeros. 32 divided by 8 is just going to be 4. 4 years. So in this case, it will take 4 years for you to earn $320 if you initially invested $1,000. Which makes sense because not only did we double the investment, but we lowered the interest. We lowered the amount we wanted. And that is how you use the simple interest formula.